Come, let us prepare. Make some good profits this week. Market left us big clues right here and here. You see the same pattern, isn't it? Take a look. See for yourself. Same pattern. I want to talk about this because you see it's the orange that's buying right there, but there's a little difference here. Right, and I want you to be preparing for what's ahead for this week. No surprise here, isn't it? At this point, I mean, if you've been following me, this comes as absolutely no surprise to you how the 5-day continues to trend up together with the upper Bollinger. You have to wait at least for the upper Bollinger to start plateauing. You have to wait for 5-day to start plateauing and even trending down before you start thinking of a possible pullback. Now you see the upper Bollinger already crossing to quite the bottom Bollinger, to the very key liquidity zone here and to the 20-day moving average closer to the key liquidity zone at that 715 that I previously thought 700 will be ideal, but you see it has gravitated towards that. But it's important you use the 5-day as a way to gauge because that's your most immediate level where the action is, and you see how 5-day continues to trend up with the upper Bollinger there. So anyway, what's important is that you have to understand that the market has went from one entire market cycle from top of Bollinger to bottom Bollinger trending down, 5-day crossing below 20-day, retest bottom Bollinger trending down, and then we have 5-day plateauing and going back up 20-day, going back up 200-day, and going back up to the upper Bollinger. All these literally in 2 months. So you have an entire market cycle that sometimes take years, and it happened in 2 months right there. So I want you to be very, very mindful and in a way see the opportunity for you to learn this, because you see having 200-day moving average as part of the action. I want you to see when was the last time that happened, and even before this last year it happened long time ago. So having the opportunity to have one market cycle happen literally in 2 months, you must take the opportunity to learn this. So the way to do this is, if you have the time, watch my videos. Watch the video yesterday, link it to yesterday and yesterday's yesterday. I literally have a video every single day, and you can document and run through the thought process of how we started here, going down, and then coming back up here, and what to be looking out for there. So it's free. The videos are on YouTube, so please do watch them if you have the time. As I said, this is an opportunity for you of a lifetime. One market cycle, literally in 2 months, that used to be taking years for it to happen. And that's that sort of volatility that we have in the market today. And so from there, you will be certain to learn more. Now, for Discord members, you have to check out the end of day summary every single day if you can, right? That's how you probably will learn even more every single day when we run through the possible live analysis and setups there. So when you can link up and chain up the thought process, this will become absolutely helpful to you. So at this point, nothing's changed. Now, if you want to see any downside from here, you have to remember the upper Bollinger and the 5-day can continue chaining up the play over here. But there will be a retest of the 20-day moving average at least once or twice, at least once in a month or two. And you see that happening in every uptrend right here, as I've shown you. This is the 20-day moving average here. As I've shown you time and time again, the market will always certainly pull back to grab more liquidity. Then if it doesn't, you have to be a little bit worried because we are starting to see some tapering there. I will explain that. You want to wait for at least 5-day to start plateauing or even trending down, right? And by then you will see that we may grab more liquidity at the 20-day moving average then. If the market wants more liquidity, then you will see 5-day crossing below 20-day and then retesting your bottom Bollinger after the crossover, then if it wants to grab more liquidity. So another case in point here is when you see cases like this. You see the bottom Bollinger retest right there before we grab more liquidity up as well. And you notice this is not truly a downtrend, isn't it? It's just a very simple pullback, because even the retest of the bottom Bollinger was higher than the previous high back then. So understanding this, and this is why you will have better understanding of why the bottom Bollinger is chasing up together with the upper Bollinger there as well, together with the 20-day moving average. That's what I mean. So if we take a look at the 30-minute chart, so understanding all these trend indicators, very important for you before you apply it into your trade indicators here. So in the 30-minute chart, if you're watching this every day, thank you very much. If not, please start from yesterday's video. Watch it after this one, and then watch the day before, and then you can conduct a parallel between all the other days. And as I mentioned, one market cycle in 2 months, literally that takes years usually. So it's a good time for you to learn this. Right, anyway, I told you that there is very key liquidity here waiting for the 20-day to catch up to this main area here between 712 and 724 yellow. Right, this is the area here. If the market wants to dump, this is going to happen. You have to wait for the liquidity there. Now, ideally, you will see 5 days starting to trend down and retesting the 20-day moving average within this blue algorithm levels here, if this wants to head down. So at this point here, before that happens, there isn't going to be a major pullback, right? So you have to look out for this area here. Now, on a more micro level, right, if you have paid attention, and this orange algorithm would have saved you many times, right? I told you, you have to be careful about this orange algorithm right there. And you see how the orange is just buying. So even though we had some red days here, you see it's orange, and the 5-day look, literally, it's the 5-day moving average and the orange algorithm that's guarding the support level here. Once again, orange algorithm guarding the support here. And you see how beautiful that was, even though we had a buying continuation, right? The last buying continuation we had was from here, and this was on the bounce of that 5-day moving average, grabbing the liquidity on the way up. And therefore, I told you, you have to be very careful. This is a clear buying continuation, and how you see the buying continuation here as well. So be a little bit more mindful of this. 5-day is already trending together with this orange. So pay close attention to that. There is a very key liquidity level here I want to talk about. So let's zoom it in a little bit more. As you zoom it in, you notice there is a blue liquidity here. If the market wants to grab the liquidity, it's quite straightforward. 5-day together with this orange and blue. Now, this is where you want to pay close attention to if it wants to head down. Now, mindful of the gap here, so you want to see if a 5-day turn into some sort of resistance, with that blue building more liquidity on the way down there, if it wants to grab and close this gap here. So if there's any downside, you pay close attention to that, being mindful obviously of the orange, the blue, and the 5-day moving average right there, grabbing this liquidity. Now, there is another level you have to pay close attention to, and that is this yellow 724. As I mentioned, 724 is very important of this blue algorithm here as well. Now, by then, 724 has some sort of resistance. 5 days, some sort of resistance. If it wants to head down, and one more liquidity level here with the blue here as well. This is very important. Pay close attention to that right before we start re-entering into this blue level where the 20-day moving average will be. So we are very clear where the bears can be grabbing the liquidity, because some of you are so greedy over this gap that you allow the market to chop you into pieces and, well, stop you out before they start grabbing it. Will the market grab this gap? You cannot assume that, but you're aware of how it will get there. Now, remember, there are several sellers here in the range. Right, one of them will be this yellow. I mean this orange, right? So if it wants to sell, you will not miss the orange right there. So just pay close attention. But the largest seller, you would know it's always the green. So you want to see if the green starts appearing. That one will be very important, especially when we break the ranges, break the moving averages as well. So pay close attention to that. Now, I am more concerned about this green, right? Because if the market wants to continue going up, you will not be caught by surprise. There's so much liquidity here. Don't forget, there is even larger liquidity at this range. So if the market wants to pull back, this will be more ideal. Let the market build more liquidity here before we start grabbing it. So that can happen as well. If it wants to continue trending up with the 5-day and the orange algorithm, just be very careful about that. Especially when there are choppy days like that. Learn to find profits in the charts. That's what we're doing every day. So if you watch the videos every day, you will be seeing how even in choppy days, we're able to use the algorithms to find profits in the charts every single day. And that's how we do it in the Discord server as well. And so please, you have to study this. Discord server members here, I understand how this is done. So it's quite a straightforward week. Pay close attention to the 30-minute chart. Discord members, just show up every day. Show up every day and learn, and you will be able to understand this even better. More importantly, not to be predicting where the charts are going, but yet being able to find profits in the charts every single day. So thank you very much for watching, and to all mothers out there, happy Mother's Day today. Thank you for all that you do. I have a mother at home. It's my wife, and every day I see her toil. I see her conduct her duties and live her purpose in her life, and I just am always in awe and in gratitude because they are things that men can never achieve. Not possible. Mentally, emotionally, psychologically, even physically sometimes, right? The toil that you have to go through, right? People always say, well, men can take more pain. We're physically stronger. I think that's not true. Women, the threshold for pain is so much more. And, you know, I look at my wife with a lot of respect and for the things that she do for me and for my children. And, you know, Mother's Day it should be a day that's celebrated every day, not just one day, but, you know, because it's an official day. I just want to wish you Happy Mother's Day, but please know that every single day I look at you mothers with lots of respect because you're raising children to be, the future of the world. And as men, we have lots to do. And for those men who are raising your children one way or another because of circumstances, happy Father's Day to you as well. I think Happy Parents' Day, it's more ideal. Happy Caregivers' Day. The point is that let's not dilute this day just because of its namesake, but just remember our purpose as parents, our purpose as caregivers, and that we will continue to serve our duty every day. Right. So the point is this: it's a duty every day. And likewise, when you come to the trading floor, it's your duty every day. Feed your family, right? Make sure you remain purposeful and focused in your objective while you're doing this. And show up every day. It's a duty. You show up every day. You do what you need to. Put in the hard work, right? Suffer a little bit if you need to. Don't be reckless, right? You're always making very calculated, very careful risks, right? You don't take massive risks when you're raising your children, for example, isn't it? So likewise for trading, you take calculated risks. You show up every day. You are dutiful. You make sure they're good habits. So it applies in life, and most important in trading. But be careful, because once you enter the trading floor, once you watch all sorts of videos that are not anchored in fundamentals or in good values, you get diluted purpose, right? You come to the trading floor and you think that all your responsibilities are no longer your own, and you start making reckless decisions, and you start treating this as a playground instead of a place where you need to feed your family. So that's the thing. We lose our focus just because it's something that is not steeped in good values. But we can still inculcate good values in trading. We can still have very good habits in trading. We can have strong fundamentals in trading, right? So nothing's changed. This is not, don't let the people who have no values tell you what to do, right? So you anchor your trading career in good values, in strong fundamentals, in good habits, the same way you would in raising a child, or even considering in your career or in your studies. And, just be responsible people, responsible adults. And for you teenagers who are watching this, well done, right? Because you're probably pretty brilliant yourself, and you're very diligent in trying to upgrade yourself. And so steep yourself in strong values. And that's the only way to grow and learn. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for putting in the work, and happy Mother's Day again. And I'll see you closer to opening bell.